All righty, folks, we can get past the doom segment. If you did not see the doom segment, Beth and I were very afraid that it's going to become increasingly hard for buyers. In short, inventory is not coming and rates are going down means demand goes up. All right, Beth, let's try to make this a little happier. If we were coaching up our buyers in this market with what we see coming, what are the things we are coaching them up to do?
Yeah. So one of the things I would say, first of all, is look to find the upside for everything, because every single market is challenging. Remember, a year ago it was, or a little more than a year ago now at this point, it was, I can't buy a house because there's 20 offers per house. And it's just, I can't afford to sacrifice my firstborn and every dollar that I will ever earn. And, I can't do these things. I don't have cash, that other buyers are doing to secure homes. And so that was the challenge when rates were low. And then rates creeped up, and now it's a problem of like, well, the cash flow is tough because the rates are high, and all the other things. Inventory is low. We are starting to see bidding wars start to creep back. But like we said in our previous video, is that I think the bidding wars are going to increase as rates decrease and the inventory doesn't come. The signs are there. Could something change between now and then? Yes, it could, of course. But my message I want to get out there is that it's always challenging. That never changes. There's always plenty of reasons to not do something, but what I want people to get out of this is just that there's always a way to think about how can we adapt and make this work for us, and how can you make it work for you and your plans. And there are always ways to do that. And so one of the first things I would say is to educate yourself, which I know that's one of your core values, is like to do the work every day. And when you're looking at the market every day, you're more equipped to spot anomalies when they pop up. That's how I've gotten almost all of my deals, is where the ones that are on the MLS, at least, I see something pops up that's like, wait a second, that one does not fit the trend of what I would expect it to be. And you have to know exactly why. And then that goes into the second thing, which I would recommend people do, which is to be prepared. You need to be prepared when you spot that gem or diamond in the rough. You need to be prepared to act swiftly and decisively and with commitment quickly before somebody else gets it. Because you might be the first one in, but there's going to be others that are going to see it too. And we're going to want to try to lock it up before others do.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. I think there's a couple of things. I've bought in several hot markets over the years, and there's a couple of tenets that I think play here with what I see coming. First, I always kind of look at the situation like, what is the average person going to do? They're going to be setting up searches for first day listings and notifications, and they're going to be all over those. Probably not where I'm going to play. What I would do first is I would set up searches, and it depends on your market, whatever long is it 30 days? Is it 45? Is it 60 days? Whatever long is days on market, that would be my filter. And I would go for those. And then I would honestly, Beth, I would be researching the properties, right? I use a technology called PropStream. It's not always right, but it's pretty darn close. How much debt is on the property? When did they buy it? Because I want to know what they can say yes to. Right. For example, if there's a property listed at $1 million and it's got $950K in debt, they can't say yes to 900 grand. They just can't. Right. But if they've been in the property for 20 years and their debt's zero, maybe they can take 900. Maybe they need to go see their grandkids in Texas and they just want a deal. Maybe. So again, I do more due diligence. And if you don't know what PropStream is, you can go to my website, onerentalatatime.com. They were gracious enough to give a discount to my channel. You could just go to my product recommendations and it's there. I think they even give you a free trial, so go nuts. But that's what I do. So older properties, I research them a little bit with PropStream, look for the debt so I know what they can say yes to. Second, unlike when I started in 2021, I would probably spend most of my time today networking with wholesalers, people that have marketing dollars going direct to seller. Because again, everybody's going to be using an agent. Everybody's going to use Beth. I want to go to the people that are sending mailers and texts and all of that, and I want to tell them my buy box. If I was so desperate, and I knew a wholesaler was good, like they have proven track record, like a guy I would use in my market is Jason Pritchard. And I talk to him every other Sunday on this channel. I would go to Jason. If I was desperate, I would go to Jason Pritchard, who's a proven entity, and I would say this, Jason, I want to buy a 3 or 4 bedroom house in Clovis. I'm willing to give you $1,000 to market to those folks. And all I ask, Jason, is first right of refusal if you get a deal. I would pay for his marketing. I would make it a profit center for him. And I'm not asking for the deal. I just want first dibs on the deal. That's something else I would do. And I would do that with multiple wholesalers if I was desperate. And then the final one I would do that's probably got me more deals in a hot market, Beth, is follow up every 7 days. Again, the first week you follow up, they're going to blow you off. The second week you're going to follow up, they're going to blow you off. The third week you follow up, you might hear the deal's getting shaky.
Yeah.
I want to get in when the deal's getting shaky. And then finally, the fourth week, the deal will close. You're done. Or they'll come to you going, hey, are you serious? Is your number still good? Because here's the reality. That agent is 4 weeks deep in this escrow. Beth, most of them have spent that commission check already. They're desperate. They got to get that check or else their credit card bill goes up.
Right.
So I want to be the right answer for that person. I can't tell you how many deals I got where I was not the highest bidder because I was just repetitive follow-up. So those are the things I would tell people to get ready for and execute in the upcoming market.
Yes. And when it gets really hot, sellers have their choice of buyers too, is a lot of the time. So I love what you're talking about. We're going off market with the wholesalers. Yeah. I love that. But if we're working with on market, I can give some more pointers about that. Perfect. Too. And so for sellers, because I work with a lot of sellers, and what they're looking for is the buyer who's going to be the one that closes the deal.
Certain close,
and a lot of times that is not the highest one. When I'm talking with the seller and we have a spreadsheet of here's your offers, and we're looking at we're basically assessing the risk level of each offer. Which one is the one that's most likely? Because nothing worse than a blown up deal when you've lost your momentum as an exciting new listing. Mm-hmm. It's very stressful. It's one of the most stressful things in real estate is when a deal falls apart. So they're looking for one that's not going to fall apart. And so, and also the one that makes it less stressful for the seller. So part of that is like, if you're working with an agent, to have that agent talk to the other agent, what's important to the seller. Mm-hmm. It's not always what we think is important. They want to be able to stay in the house for 3 months. They want to be able to leave everything there. I know I've mentioned this before on your show where I've gotten deals done by saying you can literally just take your toothbrush or even leave the toothbrush and just go, and we'll send in a clean out crew to just get it all out of there, in a day. And that will relieve people from a tremendous amount of pressure. Mm-hmm. And another thing I would say is a backup offer, like you were saying, you can be a signed backup offer that's locked in. And usually the way the contracts are written, you can pull it at any time if you get under contract with another house. Mm-hmm. Anytime before it goes into first position, you can pull that backup offer and buy another house. And sometimes that, if you do that enough, sometimes a good deal will come your way, especially if you're the runner up on a bidding war. Mm-hmm. And here's something I want to say that probably a lot of people are you maybe have to stretch their minds a little bit for this concept. Sometimes it's okay in a hot market, especially. Sometimes it's okay to compete. Sometimes it's even okay to pay more than list price. Don't shoot me. And I know I'm a real estate agent. You think I'm somehow get paid to say that, but I don't really, but I do know how to navigate a market, and I have purchased homes. I've competed myself on properties, mm-hmm. and I've paid more than list price for properties because it's more about, sometimes it becomes an ego thing where it's like, I don't pay more than list price. If that list price is 20% below market value, I'll pay over list price.
For sure.
And so but you have to know your market so well, where I purchased one, I don't know when it was, 1.5 years ago. It was priced well below market. It was a little bit of a fixer, but it wasn't that bad. It needed a little bit of lipstick. But the main thing I liked about it was in a very good part of town and it had been rezoned where someday I could tear it down and build a 3-story mixed use building.
Oh, nice.
On that property with residential and commercial in an area where there's a huge amount of money and development going into that area in coming years. So just having that knowledge and go, and it has a great house that I can rent for good cash flow from day one.
Perfect.
Yes, I'm going to do that. But I had to be ready to jump. I was prepared and I recognized it and I flew over there and I put that offer in as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, and also you got to understand your limits. Like, don't get caught up in a bidding war frenzy and get fixated on winning and paying more just to win. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But know your limits and where to stop. But sometimes it's okay. I wouldn't say like just because that's going on that you immediately need to pull out. Sometimes it's okay with asterisks. It can work still sometimes.
You got to know your market. I mean, there are some agents, and I'm sure you know who they are in your market. We have an agent that actually works in our community where we live, who's always 100K under market. Right? His goal is a bidding war.
Yeah.
But sometimes that doesn't work, right? If the market gets soft for whatever reason, you can step into a deal.
Part of how I coach my seller clients is pricing is very, very strategic. And I never advise people to price $1 less than what they're willing to accept, because even in the hottest market, you can never guarantee a bidding war.
You can get got. So exactly.
Yeah. That's how agents get in trouble if they don't. I've been the buyer's agent on ones where the seller doesn't want to sell at the price they had it listed at because they thought they were going to get a bidding war. And that's, you don't want to be in that spot. Don't
want to be in that spot. Well, Beth, there are, go ahead, please.
Sorry, I just want to make sure before we run out of time, there's one more thing I think is pretty important that I want to let people know. And that is to look for properties where you can add value. I think when we go into more of a seller market, that's might even be the most important thing, is to look for properties where you can add value. Maybe it has a detached 2-car garage and you can rent that out to somebody. Maybe it has RV parking. You can rent out the RV park. In my area, you can probably get, I don't know, $300 a month just for RV parking.
Wow.
Or, or any number, or a basement that you can convert into an ADU if you don't want to share your living space. I get that. I wouldn't want to share my living space. But when I bought my first house, I remodeled the basement, had a separate entrance. We did it that way. So look for a 2-bedroom that has enough square footage. Like if I see a 1,200 square foot 2-bedroom, I think there's probably a way you can fit a 3rd bedroom in there.
I've bought lots of those. I think I've done a dozen of those. Yes.
And that's a good way to add 20-30% of value just by making a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom. Especially if you can add another 3/4 bath.
Yeah.
So look for things like that. That's something that definitely shouldn't be overlooked.
Yeah. So again, there's lots of ways to move forward in this. We're kind of like, just go in with eyes wide open. It might get hard, but there's plenty of opportunities. The ones that are going to win are going to be the ones that do the work. If you're just waiting for MLS queries or emails, it's going to be really, really tough for you. But if you really want it, it is out there for you. If you want to buy or sell in King County or want a referral from a top agent, Beth, where are we sending them?
Yeah. Best way is to go to my website, bethtraversogroup.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.